Hey guys, Merry Christmas. This is my Christmas day right now. I do often broadcast a few days after the fact, and so for you, it's probably a few days after Christmas. But for me, this is Christmas morning. It's kind of a weird shave today for a few different reasons. But let's look at the gear for right now. Well, why not use Christmas Cannons? It's my most Christmassy soap because of the name and the scent. I like the scent. It doesn't have some of those Christmas notes like um, tons of pine and fir, mint. I don't like mint, and so many good soaps have mint in it that are Christmas oriented. So it's really kind of hard for me to find a good Christmas soap. Now, Santa Noir was just released this year, and I bet that one, would have fit the bill pretty well. But I didn't. I chose not to jump in on that, and I may regret that someday. But that's okay. Um, Christmas is a time of giving, as many of you know, and Mr. Michael Friedberg gave me this boar brush, and so that's why I'm using it today. He sent it to me and said, "Hey man, try it," because I have never tried. Actually, I'd never tried any of this Heritage Collection at all when he sent me this, and so it was my first time there. I'd never tried the gelled boar brush kind of experiment that Heritage Collection has done. And it was my first time trying that. He said, if you like it, just keep it. And his generosity there is on display for everyone to see. So I'm using this wonderful brush for my Christmas shave in the honor and the spirit in which it was given. And Christmas is also a time of comforting things. And I just really enjoy this bronze timeless razor. It is kind of, I think it's the 38 gap since it's the solid bar. And it sits right in the middle of efficiency and comfort with a lot of comfort. So maybe not right in the middle. That might not be the best term. But then also, well, let's be a little adventurous and try the Tungsten 74 on this razor. I've used this on some razors and it hasn't worked at all. Um, the dimensions may be different, something like that. It's an older blade, it's discontinued. And I think Christmas should have sometimes a little bit of adventure into it, like maybe go to a soup kitchen or contribute to a homeless shelter, gather up some old clothes and take them to a thrift store like a Salvation Army thrift store or something like that. Crisis pregnancy centers, they need all kinds of products, and call them and see what they need. Maybe just $20 at Walmart to buy some ladies sanitary products. I mean that those might be the things that aren't given by a lot of people by nature, but it's something that maybe they need a lot of. Find out what they need and take it over. Be just a little adventurous there. And so that's why we're using the the blade that sometimes doesn't work out very well. And this may be a great razor with it. So here's the way the bronze kind of looks, the base plate design and all that. And we're also being a little strange because I just took a shower. Usually I do not take a shower right before the shave. So that's a little bit of an oddity. Here is the Personna Tungsten 74 blade. I don't have tons of uses with it yet. This is a clunky handle, right? But I've just kind of grown to really enjoy it. And it functions, of course, very, very well. The little saddle right here, the waist, is a great reference point. Also, we're being a little weird because I've got a bathrobe on. Usually I don't have that. I forgot to bring a t-shirt down with me. Visiting relatives over the holiday season, and so you're just going to have to deal with a few chest hairs. All right. So my beard was hydrated before. It's had a chance to dry out, so we will kind of rehydrate at various points here. But we're also not dealing with the skin oils and stuff that we usually come into a shave with. All right. So let's load up. The brush holds a surprisingly large amount of water between those little boar fibers. You can see it's not a dense brush. All right, now you can see I've scraped some from this because I was just kind of experimenting. Actually, that's the previous person. I scooped it in my first try of it. This is my second try of Black Ship Grooming's Christmas Cannons. Let's do like a 30-second load. Okay, 10 seconds right there that'll be an easy start point. This brush does tend to kind of dump that water that it keeps a hold of into the soap, and so it will overflow pretty easily like this. Really soft gel tips here. I didn't look at my records. I have no idea if I'm overloading, for Black Ship Grooming. But this guy hasn't been used in months. Alright. So that's what it looks like after the load. You can see some airy, bubbly stuff. You can choose to kind of conserve that if you want, and kind of put that into the lather bowl if you want to. You could also maybe, if you knew it was going to overflow because you maybe used the same soap over and over, you could let that overflow drip into your lather bowl here. That would be an interesting experiment. Like anytime I let the overflow drip over, it means I can load for 5 seconds less. As far as how much does it affect your lather quantity? Does it barely affect it at all because it's mostly water and very little soap because it's air, So it's coming together nicely here. Kind of pasty right now, but that's the way it's supposed to be early on. I'm going to go ahead and be generous with the water because we're at the beginning and I know it can take that much. This is my 3D printed lather bowl I've been using for so long. I always link to the description of the page where you can download the plans for it in the description of my video in case you're curious. If you have a 3D printer, you can also print it online through some different services. SugarDaddyShaves.com has some info on that if you need it. A few of you guys viewers have printed it up and have sent me your opinion and who you used and how you did it, and that has helped other people along the way. So thank you for your input there. And we can see the lather developing, getting a little wetter. About 15 milliliters in there so far. Black Ship Grooming is not a top tier soap. However, I like some of their scents. I like the artwork. Some of them are kind of the pre-made scent blends, I think. Don't quote me on that. But some of them are very nice, and the lather performance is nice and slick. He doesn't seem to focus too much on, at least, he's got a lot of oils. This is a, no, I'm thinking about something else. There was this other soap I was planning on using, then I realized it was Christmas Day, and I decided to use this soap. A lot of times the post-shave issues, okay, it's a coconut oil soap as the first ingredient. Sometimes that detracts some people. I think it can be drying to your face, and it doesn't have that effect on me. It also usually means it kind of bubbles up and is kind of a higher structure lather. But we also have shea butter, so that's helping it to nourish instead of just being the coconut oil, cocoa butter, stearic acid, potassium hydroxide, castor oil, palm oil, avocado oil, sunflower oil, argan oil. So we've definitely got some oils in play, right? And so no doubt that helps to counteract that coconut oil that is commonly used in cosmetics. And we've got a nice pillowy lather here. Looks great. Performs well. It's very slick. But what I think what it sometimes doesn't do is give you kind of a creamy, luxurious feel when I have it wet enough to where I enjoy the shave, where I enjoy the glide that it gives my razor. then it doesn't feel that luxurious to my fingers. I think it's in that category, you know, and so that's why I don't consider it top tier. However, I like the fact that all those oils that are added, they're not added in a quantity to make it low and gluey or to impact the enjoyment of the lather, you know, the slickness and all that. Well, we are looking good. We've got lots of lather here. All right. Plenty. Nice glistening sheen. This happens to be a soap that will give you some sheen. I want to add just a little bit more. This jigger here, I have used it now maybe, I don't know, for a year. A long time now. I really enjoy it. I used to use the syringe to add water. The syringe is really good at adding small drops of water, you know, 6 drops at a time, and sometimes that's what you need when you're adding water to a brush. Add too much water to a brush, it just kind of flows out, right? But it wasn't good at tracking the quantity because I could only use 2 teaspoons at a time because that was the size of the syringe. And so a lot of times if I used 4-5 teaspoons of water, which would be what, 20 milliliters, it's very common for me to use 20 or more milliliters of water in the shave. And so I was having to remember how many times I refilled the syringe. Well, I don't have to worry about that with this jigger, and so that's why I haven't gone back to the syringe. Again, we stay nice and pillowy here. Even with that water I just added, looks great. Nice Christmas snow lather here. All right, get my face wet one more time. Also, I am wearing a do-rag up there, and I want to try that out. I think it'll be fun. You know, you guys don't want to look at my bald spot when I bend down and do rinses anyway, right? All right, now it's time to experience those awesome jelly tips with a nice lather in it. And sure enough, that 30 seconds of loading looks like it has given me 6 or 7 passes of lather. Of course, the treatment process that made these luxuriously soft gel tips is similar to the badger treatment process to make those 2-band badgers with the gel tips. And the one caution, the reason you might not want to have this brush or latch onto it in a affectionate, loving way is because that treatment, we don't really quite know how the board is going to respond over the long term to that treatment. We don't know if the tips are going to break off and then be kind of stubby again. You know, we don't know. Oh man, the lather feels great. I'm glad I added this much water. You can see it kind of thick and opaque, luxurious feel here with this brush. Merry Christmas to you and yours. I'm a Christian, and it's an important holiday for me. The day when God started, well, he didn't start it. It was started from the beginning of the creation of the world, God's rescue plan to save us humans. And but it's a time where he sent his son to start his earthly mission, to do that, to sacrifice himself for us, so that we could be with God forever, and that's important to me. And so I do often keep my, wow, this feels great. I do often keep my faith kind of on the back burner. I don't want this to be a preaching channel, but I do take the liberty on holidays like Christmas and Easter to speak about it just a little bit, because it is important to me. getting just a tiny bit of blade feel, but it's kind of insignificant. I believe I'm shaving off 2 days of growth here. And this, as long as I end up with a nice close shave, is a wonderful combo. With the WR1 46 gap, it was definitely the wrong geometry for a good cut. It was so mild and it felt so comfy. That's because it wasn't cutting any hairs. Oh, but this is doing a good job cutting. Hey, nice. My little Christmas gamble paid off. Christmas adventure was rewarded. All right, I'm gonna get a water rinse type thing. Oh no, I actually felt plenty of stubble just now. So it's not being very efficient with this razor in that first pass. It'll be very interesting. I'm gonna have to start an official list now of all the razors that I've tried with this kind of legendary blade and see if there's a pattern that I can notice that tells me what kind of razor works well with it or not. And this lather looks terrific. Feels great with the brush. I'm going to switch to cross grain and see maybe if we can pick up more stubble with it. Even before, this is one of those blades that people say just goes on forever. It's well known for being a great blade to, to marathon and get lots of shaves on. And so when I finally found one, thanks to, now that I think about it, somebody gave me this, a pack of these. Again, wonderful generosity here. Happened to sneak into the shave without me remembering from the beginning. One of you viewers, I'm pretty sure. Refined Edge has given me some stuff like this, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was him. Most razors and blade combos do definitely take off more stubble on that first pass than this one did. However, as long as it kind of makes up for it on the second, I don't mind. Well, it looks like it's going to take some work. I've still got some stubble that I feel. So it looks like this is not a very efficient combo of blade and razor. Now, it's very comfortable and I can feel the edge, but the edge is just not doing a great job cutting. Third pass. We'll keep doing it. Let's do cross grain again. Matter of fact, let's switch it and do it the other way. See if that helps. Now I believe that I am going to get there. I don't think it's going to take 8 passes to get there. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but I think just maybe one extra pass. It's commonly a practice to, if you need to do another cross grain pass, to do it in reverse direction, but it's such an awkward angle for me, and usually I don't need to, that I don't do it often at all. It's been difficult to get my kids to watch Christmas movies this year. It's just not their thing. I don't know. They just have more adventurous stuff to watch, I guess. You know, the Rudolph and those kind of things. Well, I guess it's just not as exciting as, the latest stuff. Klaus was a Christmas special that came on Netflix a few years ago. Really enjoyed that one. That one's good. And as we lather up the fourth pass, I've still got stubble. So it's not as bad as the Wolfman 46. Now that's a mild gap. Oh, and I've got plenty of lather. Fourth right here, fourth pass. And I've got 2 or 3 more passes in there. So 30 seconds. I did not need to load for that long. But You know, the brush feels so good, the lather. I mean, why not treat yourself to an extra pass and enjoy it? This time I'll take kind of an upward stroke on my cheeks. And this is going to be my last pass. I'm just seeing relatives. I'm not going in for my modeling career. A slight slant stroke could add a slicing element to the interaction here, and that may make a big difference. I don't really like the word efficiency when it comes to talking about the aggression of razors, but in this case it really fits because it's not being efficient. It is taking a while to cut hair. It is cutting hair, but it's taken kind of a while to do it. I don't know of a better term. I'm pondering that over the recent months, but I haven't come up with anything better. It does match, definitely. It does apply to the razor. I don't know, maybe efficiency and aggression. Maybe as long as you use those two in conjunction with each other, it gives you a joint description of the razor's, feel for you. So after 4 passes, parts are shaved very well, but there are just patches that are not. And but nobody at the Christmas gathering is going to pay any mind to that. In honor of Christmas, I'm using another gift. I'm almost certain this was Alex, and that sent me this, and I've used it many times. I really enjoy the scent here of Floris, number 89, kind of a classic type of scent, and very generous of him. And we'll put that on. It's not going to offend anybody as we travel to the family shindig, in the car. I wouldn't want to get too adventurous and then, jump in the car with like Rome on from Barrister and Man, right? So the gift of the brush, the gift of the aftershave here. Wonderful time here of sharing and enjoying folks' generosity. Great lather today. Very slick. The razor moved with excellent glide and a nice luxury feel on the face when rinsing. Just very, very enjoyable. And I've kind of had some lathers with black ship grooming that were like that, where I thought, man, this is better than I thought. And then I've had other lathers where, well, this is why this is not top tier. I wonder if he's got 2 different formulas, or I don't think so. But anyway, it just happens to be the way it kind of seems. Don't know why. Wonderful brush experience today. Lather was great. This scent is an easygoing, low-strength scent that does remind me a little bit of Christmas kind of things, but it's not dominant, and it's got a little bit of fruitiness to it, almost like it's got some a hint of some kind of berry or something, and I enjoy it. And I just like his kind of cartoony yet classic kind of artwork that he does with a lot of his different scents. Ah, yes, now that the smell of that aftershave has definitely overwhelmed me trying to remember what that soap smelled like. So it is, it's all around me right now. So, well, time to clean up. One of the things I am going to start doing with my boar brushes, especially ones, most of them in the rotation that I have, is to use a hair dryer. I've got a friend who uses this technique and is really happy with it. Not to throw air down in the middle of the knot, but to just to spend a couple of minutes, not very much time, to where the knot even stays wet, but the tips kind of dry a little bit. And almost like you're blowing the air across the top for just a few minutes, and it dries them out. Now, this is a treated knot. This is a gel type knot. So this is not on the list to receive that, but my CMON Owners Club, I just want to get it out of that wiry stage and promote the tips to split. And I was trying to do that in the safest way possible, and I've spoken about this a long time. We just use it, and maybe soak it for a little bit longer before you do use it, and that'll help it to help those splits to go down the shaft of the bristle in the safest way, and not to break off any pieces if possible, right? But that's taken so long, and I've got so many more brushes that I want to enjoy, right? So that itself has caused me to reevaluate my plans, and so I have the ease of a hairdryer nearby here, and so later on I'll probably use my CMON Owners Club with the Taj handle there, and I'll just spend a few minutes with helping the tips out with a little bit of hair drying action, maybe even just the cool setting, not even a hot or warm setting either, to be as safe as possible, and just see what that gets me. So that's something that's going to be coming in future videos. Great experience today, except for maybe the efficiency of the razor and blade. Yeah, I can't really smell this because of the aftershave. All right, great classic aftershave here. Harkens and reminds you of times gone by, and traditional and that kind of thing, and that's appropriate for Christmas, as well as the generosity of the gift that was intended, right? Very good. This is what this brush is looking like right now after a good towel stropping. It'll be interesting to watch these tips split as they're all jelly. See what happens. All right, my friends, Merry Christmas to you and your loved ones. If you celebrate a different holiday this kind of year, I wish you all the best in how you choose to celebrate. Take care now. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves.